Test. Okay. Cool. So let me just do a final sound check on the stream here, and then we're gonna jump into things in like 2-3 minutes here. I can hear myself now. Jesus Christ, where's it coming from? But the sound is working, so that's good. I just gotta find the tab to mute myself. There we go. Cool. Okay, and where's the live stream? Watch live. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna post that in the Zoom chat. So for you guys watching on Zoom, it would be good if you could use the either the Facebook or the Facebook chat here, or the YouTube chat. That way, people watching the replay, they know what we're talking about. And also, I'm using Restream right now, so all those comments should be showing up in my streaming software, wherever the hell that is. There it is. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I should see all the comments coming in. And all you guys that are watching on the live stream side of things, you can of course also join Zoom though. That's where towards the end of each section, or whenever we're collecting questions, you can of course unmute yourself as well. And that way we get a bit more of a one-on-one interaction going as well here. But for chat questions, you guys on Zoom, would be awesome if you could open up the Facebook or YouTube link and drop some engagement, drop some likes. If you're on Facebook, maybe drop a hard reaction or the wow one. I think that's even better for the algorithm. Let's make sure some more people see this, because I think I'm also shooting myself in the foot by restreaming to these different platforms and letting people join on Zoom. So all these platforms, they're of course optimizing for watch time and all these algorithm stuff, and kind of shooting myself in the foot here. So if you could help me out real quick, just open both of those up here, or you guys watching on Zoom, just drop some engagement there, and then just keep that open for the chat. I'll see all your questions coming in there, and then please use the the YouTube or Facebook chat from now. All right, so that's for you guys watching on Zoom. And yeah, I'm not gonna see the Zoom comments anymore, so you guys better open those up. Cool. So yeah, I got some cool stuff prepared here. Let me just set up, like, I've got an ultra wide monitor, so it's a little bit tricky to stream in 1080 here. Let me just fix this here, set that up so you guys can actually see things. And yeah, I think I'm gonna just briefly introduce some stuff here while we're waiting for maybe 1 or 2 more people. Oh, actually, I need to post in the Facebook group as well, and then we're gonna jump into things as well. But let me show you already here. I've got some really, just find the actual thing here, some really cool things prepared already. So let me just open up the screen here. So yeah, this is pretty much everything you need to know from start to end, from no idea what clients to go after, or maybe you already have some clients in an existing niche. In that case, you can kind of skip a lot of these steps here. And again, we're gonna land out over here with some new clients in your business, probably in the next 7 days, if you go all in, take action here, especially for anybody that is in this group here, and that's in these in the beta group that already joined. And that's where of course I'm holding you kind of hand at every step of the way. And for anybody that did not join yet, we have 2 to 3 more spots available. We're starting the group calls actually next week already, but we extended the, let me just find the thing, we extended the launch period until Black Friday. So I figured everybody has Black Friday sales coming up, so we had some other people that wanted to join as well that weren't quite ready yet, as well as some other payment issues. That's where we made it way simpler for people to join now. And again, this is we have a full masterclass that's breaking down pretty much everything you need to know from start to end. Again, of course, in today's training we're gonna cover some juicy stuff here as well, but again, that's where in this training here we lay it all out. And then at the end of the training, there's of course the opportunity, of course, secure 30+ meetings in 60 days. That's kind of that's the, let me just get the link and actually show you as well. I do have a little pop-up thing here, so that's where you can sign up here. And looks like I fucked that up on my own page here, beta invite, and that's where you can sign up. And that's also how you're going to get access to this blueprint here and any of the other bonuses that we had in the last couple trainings. We added some sweet other things there as well. So again, if you sign up here, you're pretty much gonna get access to that full masterclass and the opportunity to, of course, secure those 30 meetings on your calendar, guaranteed. That's again if you join this beta. Only reason why we don't have a price publicly and we're not already sold out is because I really need to make sure that anybody joining this group is gonna get those results, right? There's a lot of one-on-one work involved. I'm really gonna sit down over the next couple months with this beta group here, and really gonna make sure to do anything possible to make sure people get these results here. So that's where, of course, in this masterclass already you're gonna learn everything you need to know on a high-level basis. But then, of course, you can go ahead, book that call with me, and again, no pressure whatsoever. That call is just there to find out. Again, I'm only taking on people I'm 100% sure will get results with this. And again, that's why I take my time here, and why we don't have like a public sign up and pricing page or people buying this. And again, don't even worry the investment, like literally like just one client what monthly cost is more than the investment. And again, if you don't make that, you're literally going to get back your entire investment, or again, all the one-on-one help and support to make this happen. So yeah, long story short, go ahead, sign up if you haven't already. Make sure to do so. And that's also how you're going to get the bonuses here. So yeah, let me just do one final post in the Facebook group. I think I forgot to do that for people that might want to join the Zoom call here. So let's just do that. Actually, what am I doing? I can just use Restream. Okay. Yeah, I'm not the most pro streamer, as you guys can tell. So let me just do that real quick. And then let me know, guys, if you already have any questions. Back again, let's go. Awesome, we got some engagement going here. Let me know if you guys already have questions, any potential niches that you want to break into. I mean, for you guys that already joined the beta here, we got Dean. I think we also have Jeremy. Sure, Varun is on here as well. Yeah, Varun is on here as well. So you guys already joined the beta. So for you already, of course, I have a good idea of a lot of these things. And of course, we're going to walk through this in detail. But yeah, I can, of course, give you some examples here. I know Dean will go into the fashion, maybe activewear industry. And again, we'll try and keep things relevant to whatever you want to break into here. So anybody else watching, who else do we have here? So Julia, for example, let me know any specific clients or industries you might want to break into. And then again, any advice I'm going to give here, I'm going to try and make it relevant to you guys watching. So I'm just going to like my own stream here real quick. And just going to send that invite link to everybody that might watch there. So join the Zoom meeting. There we go. I think that should send. I'm going to send it myself anyways. Join us on Zoom. Cool. All right. Awesome. So actually, you got to give that stream a title here real quick. And then we're going to jump into things here. So again, if you haven't already, anybody watching here, of course, most of the guys in the Zoom call here are already part of the beta group. But Julia, if you haven't signed up, I highly encourage you to check out this masterclass here as well. And potentially book a call. Let's find out if this might be a good fit. But again, you can find that out yourself by just checking it out. And that's, of course, also how I'm going to send via email as well, or in the training portal that you get access to. You're going to see the actual blueprint here as well. So let me just set this up. How to, actually, let me just copy it. How to get your next or first client, depending on where you're at, in the next 7 days. I mean, that's, can't guarantee the 7 days, but can happen for sure. So it's up to you how much work you do. And of course, a little bit of luck involved as well, as usual. But we're going to remove the luck equivalent as much as possible here. Again, I'm all about these systems here. So cool, that is set up. Let's jump into things. Just get caffeinated real quick here. Okay. Alrighty. So basically some quick foundations first. So again, we of course have done a bunch of past trainings, and again, for anybody that's maybe watching this for the first time, or watching the replay here and you want to find out how to get access to the other replays, again, you can sign up here. It's also where you get free access to all of the past replays. And let me just bootcamp, open that up here. And that's where We have pretty much a full-on training portal where we're also going to be, again, adding all of these resources like this blueprint that we're talking about today. And then a lot of things that I'm going to be mentioning throughout this training here, we have covered in past trainings here again. So all of these are pretty much like 90-minute to sometimes 2-3 hour long live stream sessions like this one, where we went deep on certain topics. And again, we're going to briefly mention some of these past concepts. And again, to get access to this for free, actually all you got to do is sign up for the beta and then check your email after you watch the full masterclass there. And yeah, that's where you can check out some of the foundational things that we're going to be recovering here. So again, sorry for you guys already in the beta here, and again, I mentioned this in every training, every coaching call, but again, this is pretty much what we're doing here. And any business that you ever look at, it doesn't matter if it's a video production company or any clients businesses that you might be working with. Any business is pretty much a series of systems that all interconnect, right? We have, again, your foundations, which pretty much change everything, right? So depending on, again, who is it that you actually want to be working with, they all have different problems that they want to solve. And depending on the problems that they want to solve, and again, nobody buys a video just because they want to have some pretty video to be on their website. They want to increase conversion, sales, any of these factors, and usually there's some other deeper level motivations as well. But again, that's what we use to build up your messaging, and these are your marketing systems, anything we use to get leads into the door, right? So this could be things like email outreach, LinkedIn outreach, just networking events, any type of system we use to get your message in front of your target customer. And again, that changes depending on the type of target customer we're going after, because if you're reaching out to dentists, you're definitely not going to do cold calls, right? You're going to get stuck with a receptionist. But if you're reaching out to let's say solopreneurs, then cold calls might be a good option, because you're not going to have any receptionist there, right? So again, depending on the target, we have a different message, because everybody has a different problem, right? The dentist, he doesn't want to just get those cheap teeth whitening patients, right? So that's one way of already going and crafting a message like, hey, we can help you craft a video campaign or craft a video that's going to help you get more patients, right? Or you're already speaking this language. But again, to get a couple levels deeper and really do your due diligence here, and we're going to talk through all of these steps here in detail, pretty much taking you from A to deal in the back here to Z. But again, it all starts with a target, because again, the dentist, he doesn't want to have the cheap patients. He might want to have the Invisalign patients. Just one of those is worth $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 US dollars. So that might be a painful problem. Again, you want to figure out what keeps these people up at night. How can I get into that, and how can I craft a message that's actually going to get somebody response? Because nobody cares about, like, hey, we've got 50 years of combined video experience and we do everything from pre to post pro. Like, nobody fucking cares, right? So people only care about them and how they can solve their problems. They always want to solve their problems in some form or another, or they want to, again, people always want to get away from their pains, right? They want to get away from those, and they want to get towards their desires. That is basic human psychology. Like, people don't do anything or take any action unless it's them trying to get away from some form of pain or achieving some form of their desires. And again, these change, of course, depending on the niche you're going after. That's what I asked here. Any specific niches that you guys want to break into, let me know in the chat. And then, of course, for you guys with the beta, I already have a good idea here for you guys in the call. So we're going to reference some of those as we're going through here. But again, just wanted to make sure that everybody that's new here gets this basic concept, which is, again, it's all systems that interconnect, right? Your foundational systems, your marketing systems that get leads into the door based on who that target customer is and those problems is, and then your sales systems. This is anything you use to turn that attention into sales, right? Now that you got that message response, now we're gonna actually take sales calls, right? And again, here's the deal. Most filmmakers only ever focus on the service delivery aspect, but again, having a better service delivery, it's not going to matter if you don't have a process to turn strangers, cold hard strangers, into paying customers here, right? So that's your sales systems, right? And again, most video people are pretty much like taking orders, right? If you're relying on networking, word of mouth, referrals, that's pretty much people coming to you, right? If you're going out to people cold, you got to get people over this quote unquote trust hump, right? If you're like contacting somebody for the first time, they don't know who you are, they don't give a shit, right? So it's probably gonna take I'm sorry if I sound like I don't want to again, I don't want to talk down, or again, you know what I mean. Again, you need to, if you're reaching out to people cold and it's not warm leads, like through networking, word of mouth, referrals, people coming to you, which is, again, it's probably only going to take a quick discovery call, then maybe this proposal call, and you're going to have achieved that trust, and they're going to be buyer capable and buy your offer or whatever you want to sell to them. Again, but that's not going to happen if you go out to somebody cold that doesn't know at all who you are, what you do, they have never heard of from you before. It's going to take more than one contact, probably, right? Again, I've seen crazy shit happen where after maybe the first, second email, book the meeting, and then you got a sales call, and then that call closed. But again, that's the exception, not the rule, right? So again, if you're not going after warm leads, which again, what we're partly talking about here, of course, we're gonna after you finished up this, setting up this system we're talking about today, you're gonna get more warm leads naturally, right? That's just gonna happen, right? If you helped another dentist gets Invisalign patient, like an Invisalign 4 or 5 Invisalign patients in the week of launching a video campaign, that's going to start to, like, other dentists are going to start to hear, or literally it's just going to be a matter of again, reaching out to them and showing them that specific and again, we'll talk through all of those steps in detail in just a bit here. But again, that's where the more targeted your approach is, right? Because again, just reaching out to just like any type of business that might need or want a video, like that's not going to work, right? If you don't have a specific message that might resonate with them, if you tell them like, hey, do you need video production? Like, again, nobody cares. The more specific you can make it, the better, right? And we're going to talk through that in a bit here. But again, that's the foundations, right? So you want to have your foundational systems, right? That's some basic market research, crafting your offer, right? Or figuring, really, before you craft your offer, figuring out the problems that your market even has, right? And these might be some very basic things, right? So we had someone join the beta group here the other week who's now working with a YouTuber, for example. And again, that's a specific target, right? A YouTuber. And he literally got hired just for helping him with let me just switch the camera here for a second. He literally got hired for just helping him shoot videos, right? It's one of like it's like a very famous Polish influencer, and he wants to like step up his video quality. So now that when just looking at what the client wants, that's not usually what the client actually needs, right? So he wants just some better video quality, right? But then when we took a look at his actual, like, I'm not sure how much I can actually share here, and Jesus Christ, I didn't mean to do that. But I'm just gonna walk through that, right? Again, that's where this YouTuber has again, specific problems that he doesn't even know he has, right? So that's where we really want to do our market research, right? And again, we're going to talk through the step-by-step here in a second of how we can make that happen. But again, this YouTuber now has a specific problem, which was I just after some basic research, and you can pretty much go to any YouTuber out there, like literally YouTuber, youtube.com/ let's just do gardening hacks. I don't know, I'm into gardening recently, so pretty much most of these huge YouTubers, they're really good when it comes to getting organic traffic or like search traffic through YouTube, right? So like this guy, for example, Hugh Richards, so he's got like 400 something, like he's got very solid views here. Let me just scale this up a little bit so you guys can read. But again, here's the thing, most of these guys don't have any clue when it comes to any other, and again, you don't know what you don't know, and that's why I love doing these trainings and just sharing some of these basic things, just like this one here in a second, where most of these guys don't even have some very basic Facebook tracking code installed, and even if they do, I see he has now, then right, just running some very basic, again, you guys know these ads that keep following you around the internet, right? You click on something and it just keeps fucking showing up, right? Let me just go to the speed test, like there's going to be a supplement right here or there, right? Just wait for it. I'm always getting retargeted by them. Oh, there it is, right? So, like, that's just Google retargeting right there. But there's, again, for these YouTubers, there's huge potential. Again, the guy who joined the beta, he's now working with this YouTuber. He's got, like, millions of subscribers and millions of views. And we can literally just set it up where anybody that subscribed to this channel in the last 30 days or watched a specific video is going to see a certain specific type of advertisement, right? So this is where you need to, like, really get to know your target market and what specific problems they have, or they might have that they don't even know about, right? So for like, what keeps them up at night? What's the first thing that they think about when they wake up in the morning? But also, like, what are the things that they might not even know, right? You don't know what you don't know, and that's just a very quick hack right there, just helping some of your clients with very basic retargeting, even for your website, right? Let's say somebody checked out a specific product. Now we can, after somebody clicked on this one here, we can show them specific ads that bring people back to this page here. So again, that's some very high level foundations that we're gonna again walk through step by step now. But I need you guys to understand that. Give me a clear in the chat or a fire emoji on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you're watching. And if you're on Zoom, make sure to check out the click on the Facebook or YouTube chat and let me know there if you have any questions up to this point, or if this is all clear. And yeah, give me a fire emoji or drop some engagement if it's clear, or give me a 66 in the comments, and then we'll jump into the step-by-step how to make this happen. But again, in the end, your business is a system or a series of systems, and any business is or has this. They always have a target customer. That target customer always wants to solve a problem, and it's always a matter of crafting a message that really resonates with that customer and really targets those pain points and shows how your offer or what you are selling or promoting here, how this can help them solve their problems or get away from their pains and get towards their desires, right? And then it's always just a matter of figuring out a system to get that message in front of them, right? And that's your marketing systems, right? So depending on what the target customer hangs out, right? If you're working with an influencer who has like a Gen Z audience and is trying to sell his merch, then maybe TikTok ads, that might be a great platform, right? But if you're trying to target lawyers, you're not gonna run ads on TikTok, or you're not gonna do like Instagram DMs, right? So your outreach system always changes, right? That's where people ask me like, hey, what's the best outreach? Like, if I can't tell you, what type of client do you want to go after, right? Where would these people hang out? And again, we'll walk through the steps now. So we got a 66, some fire going there, so I would say good to go. All right, so this is what we're doing now. Gonna figure out how can you map out your target persona or customer. And of course, like, there's levels to this, right? Well, today we're gonna like do this on a higher level. I'm gonna give you the step-by-step blueprint that you can start implementing. But of course, if you want to go deeper, you definitely want to check out the past trainings that I'm going to be mentioning, or definitely, if you haven't already, make sure to check out join that masterclass for free. Check it out, and if it resonates with you, then go ahead, book a call with me. You will 100% not what's the word? But well, it's gonna be worth it. I just can't find the fucking word right now. But yeah, again, so we'll figure that out now. How do you map out your target persona? How do you figure out your messaging and outreach system? How do you then turn that attention into sales? And again, service delivery, that's where we've done a ton of other trainings in the past. How do you again turn that content into sales machines working 24/7 for your clients, and again, all that fun stuff. So yeah, that's all in the past training. So again, sign up if you haven't already. That's how you get access to all the past trainings, all the bonus resources, and all that fun stuff. So let me just copy that over. We're always gonna need this here, the success chain, because that always applies to everything we're doing. You're always going to be working on one of these systems, right? And again, problem is most filmmakers focus only on the service delivery, right? But that's not going to improve. Again, that's not going to matter if you don't have any meetings that you're taking. And always ask yourself, what did I do how many meetings did I take in the last 7 days, right? And what did I do in the last 7 days to generate new meetings? So that's really like, after you have your foundations in place, that is the only thing that matters, right? So after you've mapped this out, and again, we're going to do that in this training here today, then the only thing you're going to have to worry about is this. And again, I'm going to give you all the resources you need to get started with that here. So let's just go through this here. So again, as you guys know, we're all about systems here and processes, and I like to have some clean diagrams showing what we're doing, so nobody gets lost or confused here. But I just whipped this out last night here in like 30 minutes, so there might be some areas for improvement or clarification. So as we're going through this, let me know anything that you guys feel stuck on, get stuck on. If you're in Zoom, feel free to shout in, or if you're watching, let me know in the comments. So alrighty, so here's the deal. So I'm just gonna like show this to you on a high level, and then we're gonna go through this step by step. I just want to make sure everybody understands what we're even looking at here first. So this is a basic process chart, and you guys that are in the beta, you're gonna get very familiar with those here, because we have process charts for everything, and if we don't, we're gonna build one out just custom for you, of course. So again, you or your team always knows what the hell to do or focus on and how to improve. But again, here's the basic deal. So we always have a start or an end point, right? That's the start of a process, and or an end of a process, right? And then we have certain action items, things, manual steps, processes that we do, and decisions that we need to take along the way, right? So hey, did this work? Did this not work? If it worked, then do this. If it didn't work, then do this, right? So that's the basic. Like again, it can get a little bit more involved than this, but that's the high level idea. And again, any system that we set up at any moment in time for your business, and here's the deal. Even if you're like, oh, I don't like this, all this system shit, and like, your business has systems anyways. Whether you like it or not, it's all a system, and it's all connected in one shape, form, or the other, right? So you are reaching out to clients, or you are already getting referrals. You just don't have a system for that. You could build out a referral system where maybe your start of that might be like well, I'm not going to map that out. It's going to be too involved. I'm going to go crazy. But again, you might build out the partnership program with other videographers that are in other niches that you don't work in or don't want to work in, right? You keep giving the good old example, like you do commercials, your friend does weddings, so you can refer all the wedding gigs to him, you can refer all the commercial gigs to you, and you give him a 10% cut. And then maybe you can incentivize that. You maybe build out a system where you reach out to other web design agencies, because no matter how amazing that content is that you produce for your clients, again, no matter how much traffic that's getting into your clients' businesses, that's not going to matter if your client's website looks like shit or like it was built in 1999, right? So that's where maybe you partner up. And again, this is your website is a sales system, right? It helps kind of turn that attention into sales. So that's where, again, one part of that might be building out a clean landing page for your clients, whatever offer that you're promoting, right? Maybe you shot a commercial for a certain new product, and then you can partner up with a web design agency and they build out a clean little landing page there. And now we make sure that people actually go and buy the product. And again, to finish up that point, of course, you are going to get a 10% cut for the website, and maybe vice versa. The web design agency, they're going to have a ton of clients who they are building out good websites for, and those clients then need actual content to get traffic onto that website, right? So again, I've sold websites before. I've sold like pretty much every creative service in the past. And again, when I sold those websites without the SEO package, because I wasn't as good in sales back then and really showing the client of how and why they really need this or have this problem, which they don't even think or know they have. Oh, Jesus Christ. So hope I'm still live here. Looks like I lost connection here. But again, if you guys still hear me, to finish up that point, that's where if those clients then came back to me that everybody loves the website, or again, you know the deal, everybody loves the video, right? Like again, I've got my bachelor's degree in digital filmmaking and visual effects. I know how to put together a quality video, but eventually I realized it doesn't fucking matter if again, nobody is seeing the video, right? You just post it on Facebook and you wait and pray that somebody's going to see it, right? But again, that's not going to matter if you don't have a system to turn that attention into sales. Or again, in this case, if you're working with a web design agency, or you build up that partnership system, right? We're all about systems here. And again, even if you're already getting referrals, that's a system. You just haven't optimized it yet. And the way to optimize that, again, you partner up with web design agencies potentially. They have clients All right, so now we're back on the stream, I guess. Well, I don't know what happened there. Probably when my camera froze. So yeah, for the regarding the website, for sure. So it's only gonna matter though if you have again targeted work to show, or again you have some really high quality portfolio in general. But let's say again you filmed a wedding before, and you now want to work with an e-commerce brand. They're not gonna really care about the wedding video. But if you have some other e-commerce work that you've shot, and I'm gonna show you in a second how you can make that happen if you don't have any work to show in that niche, then of course. But yeah, it's not really important to get your first clients. You don't need a website at all. So even with all the coaching clients, I always tell them like, hey, we don't need to worry about your website. What matters is, again, do we have a specific offer, and are we offering a specific solution? And that's all these businesses care about, right? If you're an e-commerce brand and I can prove and guarantee to you that I'm going to help you get those results, or again, make sure you're happy, and we're going to talk about that in a second, where we form up some no-brainer offer here, then you don't need any website or anything to get your first client here. Cool. All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna try and fix my camera again really quickly, guys. Wow, that's not looking too good. Full camera. Struggles of a live stream. Properties, deactivate, activate. Let's switch sources. There we go. Cool. All right, let's jump back into action. Awesome, good answer, thanks. Yeah, hope that was somewhat clear. All right, so awesome. At this step here, just to sum up real quick, again, we mapped out. Oh Jesus, we mapped out the target's customer, or the niche that you want to break into. And it is a level 2 or level 3 niche, which means that we're not going after all markets or just e-commerce brands in general, but we at least like maybe going after just fashion e-commerce brands, or maybe even in this case activewear fashion brands. And so at this point we need to figure out, okay, what can we sell to these guys? Because again, we don't want to, like, people buy a transformation that helps them get from where they're at to where they want to go. So Autograph just says, I've been working at getting clients for music videos lately. Okay, cool. I'm gonna try and sneak in some specific things for that, right? So big problem musicians have is, especially last year with COVID, they couldn't do the in-person shows and events, so people go on digital. Like Travis Scott had this horrible thing the other week, where don't want to talk about that, right? But he had like a virtual concert. That's a big thing that's coming up, right? So reconnecting with their audience, that's a big problem that I know any of my clients last year that were reaching out to musicians, that was one of the biggest thing. Like, hey, we can help you reconnect with your fans, create some live events, or again, literally just take that music video content, turn that into micro content to re-engage their audiences, because they can't do these in-person events. Again, that's a specific problem to like last year. Probably this year is a little bit different, but yeah, that might be, again, depending on the problem there. Again, for these musicians there, that might have been the problem. And then the features, again, you help them shoot some content along with the music videos, right? So some music videos, and then behind the scenes, and take some photos while you're doing it, and turn that into teasers, snippets, some screenshots or GIFs, however you want to call it, and again, help them then publish that micro content and push that out on social media channels. You can literally target other similar artists' YouTube channels and music videos, and then put that micro content or ads in front of their YouTube videos, or literally just target them on Facebook. Anybody who's following The Weeknd or similar artists, right? So that's like targeted outreach, targeted marketing you could help them do, right? Literally take the video and just set it up on Facebook, where, hey, anybody that likes The Weeknd, show them this video. That's pretty much how it works. Like, again, we went through this in more detail in the past trainings, of course. So if you have not already, you can sign up and get access to the past trainings there, as well as all the worksheets we had to how to make that happen. But that's the high level, right? It starts with the problems, so we can then map out your offer and turn that into a message here. Cool. So yeah, that was just very quickly for musicians here. Hope that helped. Wow, that was one back. Jesus. All right, so yeah, first just go broad, start some basic market research, figure out some of the problems. You can use Google search for that, right? And just basic search terms like your niche plus marketing problems or strategy, because usually you're solving a marketing problem. That will get you started. Again, there's more specific problems. Like a client last year, he closed a $40,000+ training video deal, and they had a big problem. They couldn't fly in the staff, right? Problem is, like, let's just map it out. Can't fly in staff. And then the feature might be to create training video and portal, and solution or benefit, because that doesn't sound sexy. Like, hey, we'll help you create it. Like, again, doesn't sound sexy. Like, not have to pay for flights and reuse the same training to boost productivity year for, yeah, like reuse the same training for years. Like, I don't know, like that's maybe something, oh Jesus, well, not maybe, but that's the actual problem. Like, again, they couldn't fly in the staff, that's all the cost, like can't fly in staff, plus high costs for in-person training, right? And like, again, this is where we need to go ninja as well. Like, the client, if they don't know they need this, like, we need to find out what they actually need. Again, I've sold websites before, then 3 months later I get a call like, hey, how come we're not getting more clients? Like, no shit, Sherlock. I told you we would need the search engine optimization. Nobody's gonna find your website if like it's such a competitive market and we're not doing any optimization, for example, right? So that's where, of course, again, these guys had the actual like hidden costs. That's the word here, right? So what would it cost if they wouldn't do this? Like, if they wouldn't spend 40K on this video here and this training portal. And the client here, he didn't even do the training portal, he just literally shot the training video. But again, the hidden cost is literally hundreds of thousands every year, flying these people in, spending money on the in-person training, hotels, flights, all that shit. And then the benefit is like, hey, you don't need to pay that anymore, right? So like, we want to turn that around into some sexy benefit, basically. Olacroft just says SEO is such a struggle. Yeah, well, it's like, I don't like doing it, but it's like very basic once you know what you're doing. So that's why I taught myself to do it here. So like, for example, like not the other week, like actually a month ago or so, I shot some photos here for this restaurant. But then eventually, because their website just sucks, or they didn't really have one, I built them this entire website. And then, of course, now, well, they have cool photos. I shot some video as well. They have a good website. But again, how are people going to find this now? That's where just some basic optimization. And again, that's why we research the markets here, because a big problem, again, for this is now a local business here, a restaurant, right? Their problem might be not getting enough traffic and orders through websites, right? Then that might be a problem that they have. A solution or a feature might be to list business on GMB, Google My Business, right? So I hope I do have access here. Like, this is not necessarily the website optimization, but this plays hand in hand with that. And again, I'm not telling you guys you need to become an SEO agency or any of this shit here, but this is just like another thing where, like, you don't know what you don't know. And these restaurants, a lot of them don't even know what they actually need. And as you can see here, we got 28K views on this here, 9K through Google Maps. And let's go to the actual stats. And excuse me, this is in German. I don't know where to change this right now. But trust me on the translation and you can read numbers, I guess. But yeah, here's, let's just go here since we set this up. Oh shit, it was more than a quarter ago, I think. But yeah, we're getting some good traffic on the website, calls as well, right? So these are actual phone calls. And yeah, so this is where we set it up, right? So before it's just like nothing. And then we just posted some of the photos I took and the video posted on the Google page here. And yeah, that seemed to be working, doing the trick here, right? So that is like 200 phone calls, right? So like there's quite some revenue that came through this year. Yeah, but that's like jumping from place to place here. That was for the website, maybe. That's the problem. And let's make all these problems maybe red here. And then features, let's keep them yellow. And then the benefit, that's where we make it green. Like, hey, we'll list your business on Google My Business. Like, nobody fucking cares or gives a shit. Like, we don't care about features. Like, what's in it for me, right? So you're gonna like get flooded with phone calls. I don't know. That might be a little bit extreme for the benefit of the messaging. And rank #1 on maps. I don't know. that might be something, right? Again, but that's where it derives from the problem, right? What's the problem these people actually have? How can we help them solve this problem? And again, this is not really video related, some of these things here, but these might be little things that you do, or you just help the clients with, or again, making that relevant for you. I'm not telling you need to do any of these things, but you want to get a good idea of what is the minimum viable offer that you can do here, right? That's the idea. That you can sell to these people, right? If you're working with a real estate agent, you don't need like an A and B cam and like a 4K VR 360 drone. Maybe just some basic wide angle HDR photos will do, right? But that's the idea here. You want to, again, create your offer and messaging hypothesis based off your research, right? You come up with all these different problems, right? That's step number one. You do some Google searches to come up with those. Let's make this one red here. And then from that, you brainstorm different ideas of features. And that's already also from your Google research. You're going to find a ton there. Just when you Google like marketing problems, strategies. If you flip the problem on its head, you got a strategy. And if you flip the strategy on its head, you got a problem, right? So let me just show you what I mean here after you've done these searches. And wow, I got so much stuff open here. Let me just try and find the actual thing here, right? So again, email marketing, like that's a solution, but it's also a problem, right? So the problem might be like not getting enough recurring sales, right? If it's like an e-commerce store, or like really any business, also restaurant. Like for this restaurant I just showed you there, we had I just closed it unfortunately. We had an opt-in form where we asked for people's emails. We already have like 150 people signed up for the email there, right? So that's, again, big problem people might have is like, oh, we don't get enough recurring sales. Like that's how you can solve it. Literally just send them some emails, collect emails, or just run those keep posting content and do some retargeting ads. And again, that's literally just looking at the solutions. I see problems as well, right? But again, I've been working with video producers and doing this marketing thing for years now. But that's where, of course, seeing these patterns are easy. And if you need help with that, of course, go ahead, book that call with me. We'll make sure you don't get lost here. But on a high level, again, figure out what problems does your market have. How can you help them solve that problem? And then how can you communicate that with them? That's the most important part as well, because nobody cares about the features. Let me just show you a quick little thing here. Integromat pricing page, right? So you all know these pricing page for these software tools. And like this is a prime example because it's for business automation. So it's very, very feature heavy, right? So like webhook queue size, right? So if you're not like an automation nerd like me and you know what that means, like you're like, what the fuck, or why would I care, right? So this, like, if we, that's all the features, right? So advanced scheduling, unlimited number of scenarios, right? But nobody cares about that. If you want to, again, you want to put that into benefits, again, features are what you do, but nobody cares about like what's in it for me. What does this do for me? What does this do for the client, right? So webhook queue size would be like connects all of your apps into one, right? So this is the main thing that they do. Integromat, it's like for business automation, connecting tools together. And the webhooks are basically like, webhook is an online thing where you can set these up to connect different tools together if they don't have an official integration, right? So like I now know this, so that's where I could maybe put that into some good copy, which is the like words that actually sell this in form of benefits, right? So like again, stop the overwhelm and connect all of your apps with yeah, again, with feature, right? But again, if you just lead with a feature, you get this and this, nobody cares, right? You're gonna get like this video and then this type of thing. Like nobody cares. What's in it for me, right? What am I actually getting? And that's the benefits here. So yeah, so benefits is like what's in it for the client. What do they get? Why would they care or need it? All right, so yeah, again, we search for problems, do some research, search for top players in the niche to see what other people are doing, and be creative in general, right? Just get into the market, because every market has different potential solutions, right? Yeah, and then you turn that into your messaging. And that is pretty much just turning the problem on its head, right? If it's a YouTuber that right now he's getting all of his let's go YouTube. I think it was like Fritz something here. Yeah, this is what one of the guys in the beta. He's working with him now. He's got like 4.5 million subscribers, all of these views. But again, you don't know what you don't know. So again, this guy, he has a store with merch. He doesn't even have it linked here. What the hell? And he's 100% also not running ads. And then they even have this brand page here as well. And they aren't even running any ads whatsoever. Not even retargeting. And again, I'm not telling you guys you need to become like marketing agencies, but like just setting up retargeting campaigns for your clients, where it's literally, hey, anybody that subscribed to this channel in the last 30 days, show them this video. Like that's pretty much it. And yeah, that might be a huge potential feature, right? The problem for this YouTube guy might be then here relying on the YouTube algorithm / organic traffic, right? That's where right now this is what marketers call organic traffic. And then the solution might be start running start running paid ads. I wanted to say paid traffic, right? There's organic traffic through search, but paid traffic, which would be just ads. Start running cold and warm. This is the retargeting ads, and that might be a potential solution. But again, nobody fucking cares about that. Again, I'm already losing you guys here because they're like, oh, I don't want to do that. It sounds so complicated. Like, it's not. Trust me, once you have the process in place. Or again, you just do the basics, like just setting up the retargeting, where like, hey, if somebody visits the client website with like / product whatever, like again, they don't even have their store linked here. What the hell? I gotta like go fishing for it now. Like, what the frick? Is that it? I don't know. But like, it's not even a store. I don't know what it is. I don't speak Polish. But like, let's say somebody checked out the specific thing here. Let's assume this is a product. You can run ads if they like, hey, anybody that went to like / yacht 101. And then you tell Facebook, hey, anybody that went to this URL, show them this same ad again, or just show them some other content. And just so you guys don't get overwhelmed again, especially anybody new here, when I'm talking about all this, like, hey, creating content ads, all these variations, like, you don't need to overthink it. Good old Casper, let's go to Casper here. They always have some good high / low quality ads, right? There we go. Like, it's literally like a skit that somebody filmed or something, right? And just a freaking photo right there. And then now we have some video ads, but let's check it out. I mean, that looks like a template. It probably is. Canva.com, Offio, there's all these different ones. And then these guys probably even use some other tools to just literally flip out the headline, reformat this into the same format. And again, this is for the normal placement. This is for story placement. And there's all these tools out there. And I'm not going to even go there in this training. If you haven't already, sign up for the beta, check out the past trainings, and then where we go specifically how to make this stuff happen here. But again, that could be the type of content. It's literally like you're not gonna have to reinvent the wheel, right? Literally a photo with some like animated thing coming, and you just switch out some different headlines, potentially, right? But yeah, that might be just for the retargeting, and then cold audiences as well, right? That's why I told you, like, hey, if you're doing like music videos, you could target similar artists. If going back to that gardening channel, we could run ads targeting people that are into gardening, into permaculture, into hydroponics, right? So I'm a little bit into gardening, so I know those interests now. But if you wouldn't, then you would start to research the market again, right? Use some tools and Google searches, right? I showed you Spark Toro. It's a great research tool, right? For gardening, I could put that in here, and again, go deeper into that. Look at the words people are using, look at the accounts they're following, websites they're visiting, and then there's a ton of other tools that we showed in other training. So of course, walk through step by step as well in the beta. But yeah, just keep going down those rabbit holes, come up with a whole bunch of problems, potential solutions, and then turn that into benefit. Because again, nobody cares about the retargeting or running ads here. Then for the YouTuber here specifically, I would tell them like, hey, stop relying on the algorithm and diversify your revenue channels, or whatever people say there. There's this specific word. I think revenue channels. Yeah, and that's a big problem these guys have. They rely on the algorithm to get their stuff seen, and they're only getting paid through YouTube AdSense mainly, right? And we can help them diversify their revenue channels and stop relying on the algorithm, right? So hey, we can help you again stop relying on the algorithm and diversify your revenue channels through targeted video campaigns. That might be something they might be interested in when you reach out to them. But yeah, that was a lot. I think should be more than enough for this step here, for again where you map out your offer and messaging hypothesis. That's what it is at this point. We don't know if this is going to work. This is our idea, so that's why then we go out there and we test it. And again, that's what will you do and how will you communicate it to them, right? What you do should be based off the problems these guys have, based off your research, and the benefits or your messaging should be based off what you're doing and the problems that you solve. So yeah, give me a I don't know, 33 in the comments, and we'll keep going here, and then I'll show you guys. Oh geez, the final steps here. Coffee left? No. Dang. All right, so this is where we got some 33s here. This is where now we want to make that decision. Do we have a potential message to market fit here, right? So again, we have an hypothesis here, and that's with everything we're doing. There should be somewhere here as well. We're always testing out our hypotheses, right? So we're coming up with an idea. Oh, it looks like we don't have one here. We come up with a plan. We go out to the market. We test things out. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Right. So we let's copy that. We come up with questions, which we're already way past that here, guys. Right. So you should have at this point ask yourself the question as to what might be a niche I want to go after, right? And then at this point we come up with our hypothesis, right? So like what might be problems that these guys have? Why would this be painful? What's the most powerful problem or the most painful problem? Why would they have this problem? Or what should we focus? Like again, just asking questions to come up with your hypothesis or your idea. So that way we can then now go out there and test things out in the actual market, right? Because no amount of like, you can't like, even if you hire 20 scientists to help you with this thing here, like they're not going to be able to tell you what message or what offer is actually going to work out. We need to actually go out to the real world, real life, and speak with real human beings and test this out in the flesh. So looks like my camera froze again. Wow. Let's fix that real quick. I know the fix now. Full camera. Let's go into that, properties, and choose a different one, and then this one again. Oh, that didn't do the trick this time. There we go. Cool. All right. Should build an automation for that. So yeah, that's why at this point we need to test out your hypothesis. But yeah, that's the only way. That's the only way we're gonna get feedback and we can improve, right? And that's with everything that we're doing here. With any system that we're setting up. Again, we're always going out to the market, looking at, is it working, is it not working? If it's not working, we go back to come up with a new hypothesis, go back out, test things out again, maybe send another 20 messages and see if it's now working. Or in this case, again, figure out if these people would even be somewhat interested into this. And that's where we do have another little diagram here that you can go through to basically figure out, hey, do you have potential for message to market fit? Right, so I'm gonna copy that over real quick. Oh jeez, and you literally just go through this. There's just like a series of questions you ask yourself, and then you go through it from top to bottom. And if you made it all the way down, then awesome, you can go to the next step here. So that is a potential message to market fit here. Let's put that one right there. And actually, I'm gonna move that over here and just connect that up. Jesus Christ, let's just make that yellow. Oh, actually dark orange, because yellow nobody's gonna be able to see here. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna clean this up before I share this with you guys. So I'm gonna have one with the notes and one without all the notes. So this is what you can go through then. Again, is the person clearly defined? If no, then continue researching and defining your target. Awesome. And if yes, then can you get access to this type of person? If no, then can you find ways to get access to this target market, right? So maybe there's people you know who might be able to give you a way in, or maybe you can't find a way to find these people's email address by any means. So maybe you try LinkedIn outreach instead, or maybe you try and cold call them because you get a number for the office for the receptionist, but you just cannot, like, it's maybe some very high level Fortune 500 type company, and you just cannot find a way to get in contact with these guys. Again, can you find ways to get into contact with these guys? That's this question. Again, if you're in the beta, of course, we're going to make sure that you will never ever get stuck at any of these points. Of course, for each point here we have solutions, but again, just ask yourself and be creative here as well. If again, especially if you're not in the beta and I can't hold your hand here, just ask yourself, can you find ways to get into this, get access to this target market, right? Maybe a different method to reach out or whatever. And more important part as well, does this person have money, right? If like musicians, I had somebody here with the music videos a minute ago here, a lot of them are broke, right? So like, does your target persona here, this type of musician that you have clearly defined, hopefully, it might be somebody who is like going to these shows already, right? In that case, it might be somebody who has money, right? If that's the persona, like people that go to, I don't know, I'm the music festival guy, like there's this Tomorrowland, right? So maybe that's the target persona, like the DJs there, right? And these guys, yeah, they probably have money. Again, then if no, can you target other segments of the market that do, right? As I just showed you, right? So most musicians are broke, so maybe you can target a different segment there that aren't broke. Or again, the real estate people. There's tons and tons of real estate agents. It's not tough to get a real estate license. So a lot of them are broke. So yeah, maybe focus on just the property development firms, right? And if no, can you find ways to bring more value or solve a more painful problem? That's a big one as well. That's one of the main reasons why I stopped selling just video production. Because literally, again, if you just sell video production, that's less than half the equation in most cases. Because again, if you don't have a way to get that content seen by the right people at the right time, shit's not gonna matter. So that's a quick hack right there. Learn how to do some basic distribution and ads. You don't even need to know how to run those ads yourself necessarily, and just work together with their marketing department or some virtual assistant, or hire somebody, work with other white label agencies. There's tons of things we discussed in the past when it comes to the specific delivery side of things, but that's of course gonna solve a more painful problem, right? Just slapping that video on their website or on YouTube is not really gonna solve a big problem, right? You might get a couple hundred views, but if you now take that and again setting up the retargeting for those YouTubers, for example, that's again making that very, very more painful or powerful, right? So again, whatever that may be. So yeah, then if yes, then awesome. If you find somebody has money, or again you can charge enough by solving a powerful or painful problem by maybe again adding some basic distribution to your video services, then yes, awesome. Is the problem you're solving painful and urgent, right? So if no, then can you repackage or position your solution to solve a more painful or urgent problem, right? So again, if an e-commerce store, for example, is not getting any sales right now, they're not going to care about recurring customers, right? So if you tell them, hey, we're going to get you so many recurring customers through this retargeting and through this email marketing or whatever, no, they're not going to care, right? Because it's not really an urgent problem they have. If they don't, like right now, they don't even have the sales to begin with, or their store is not even converting at all, right? So again, that's where we can maybe repackage things or position things in a different way. And if no, can you learn or outsource a new skill to solve a more painful or urgent problem, right? So maybe it's an e-commerce store, they're already doing good, but you don't want to do the email marketing, you don't want to help them build out a landing page or website or improve their website. In that case, as I mentioned at the beginning of the training, you can always partner up with other people, even literally hire them, outsource it, or build up that partnership connection where maybe you get a 10% cut for every person that you refer to their business. And that might be a potential solution. Just as I looked at the camera battery, it died here. But yeah, that's the next step here. And again, there's the scale to the meaningfulness here. Yeah, I'm going to skip that for now here. Again, you can figure it out, like is it painful, is it not painful, is it urgent, is it not urgent. And again, we want to land right here. So like here's all my money, right? So if it's not meaningful and it's urgent, and again, like you can just screenshot this should make sense by itself here. And again, of course, you're gonna guys all get access to this full blueprint here in a bit. So yeah, let's go through the next steps here in a second. I'm gonna switch my batteries real fast. Actually, I can still see the screen, so I'll just keep talking. So yeah, next point. Yeah, is it painful and urgent? And then your solution. Oh Jesus. Keep talking while I'm doing it. So yeah, is your solution the best or only option for the defined person? Like that's of course the ideal solution. And if no, can you start more narrow with your niche and offer to become the best? So again, this could be like narrowed down by if you're working with people in the local area, right? So if you're maybe not shooting e-commerce products that are small that you can work with like worldwide, or this brand can work with people worldwide, right? If it's like a quick example, like the training video my client shot last year was like a very large machinery stuff. They can't just ship that out, right? So of course they would prefer to work with people locally, right? But with most e-commerce brands, you can work with people worldwide, and it's going to be tougher to stand out, right? But that's where, again, just combining those skill sets together, and especially going down the niche levels here, is going to make sure that that is the case, right? If you're going like, hey, video production for everybody, nobody cares. If you do just e-commerce videos, again, it's tougher to compete. But the more you level down here, and the more specific of a solution you have, like, again, maybe helping those dating, like, again, industry here might be coaches, right? There may be dating coaches, and then dating coaches on YouTube, right? So they have a very specific thing, right? Just that retargeting thing, if they don't do it right now, where you set it up, anybody that subscribed to their YouTube channel in the last 30 days, we're going to show them this specific thing. If that's your specific solution to this specific target persona, I would say it's pretty safe to bet that you are the only or best solution that they could go with here. So you see what we're doing here, right? So then again, if that's a no, then can you start to more narrow with a different niche of where you can become the best, right? Niche down a little bit further, or a more specific problem, or again, you're just gonna have to deal with again, if you have just one or two other people you're competing with worldwide, then no problem, of course, right? But you don't want to ever fall in that spot where there's like literally 20 other people they could choose, right? So be tough on yourself here and really ask yourself. And then if yes, then awesome. Is the vehicle used to deliver the solution efficient? And with vehicle, what do I mean here is the service delivery. Let's write that here. Service delivery. Right? So is it efficient? So that means are you the only person that has to do everything here? Right? And if yes, then of course that's a problem. So that would be a no, right? Can you find ways to productize or automate the solution? Right? So that's where leveraging software, but especially also other people and systems, where again, let's say you work with a specific type of brand, right? And then you slap out some templates together, like literally Canva. What's going on here? Let's retry that payment. What's going on here? Literally, I don't know what's going on here. I'm gonna test that here. But again, you can build out literally within Canva different templates and teach an assistant to help you create some of that micro content or these different variations, right? You do the main production and the shoot, you do the main creativity part of the job, of course, right? But just slapping, like, again, reformatting this into a square format, like, you don't want to be the one freaking doing that. You can find editors and virtual assistants from like $3 to $5 an hour who are more than happy to get paid that, right? My assistant from the Philippines, like, I'm paying her pretty much, I think, what like lawyers like getting there, like very high level, high paid lawyers. So yeah, no, again, can you find ways to productize or automate the solution? If yes, perfect. And then if it's efficient, right? If you're not like the only person like doing everything, then again, you have achieved product market fit. But again, be tough on yourself there, because that's going to be your biggest and fastest, as you crack the code here in the next couple steps, that's going to be your biggest next bottleneck, right? So as you're, again, we now have your target market and the problem defined, right? We're definitely past that now. And then as you start to, again, fill your pipeline through the right marketing systems, more on that in a second here, and then close those deals, then the biggest bottleneck for you is going to be service delivery, right? Again, just reformatting content, doing rough cuts, right? If you shoot interviews for clients, right? Like, you don't want to be the one freaking syncing up the footage. And then again, there's like tons of software tools and things coming out. That's where, again, like, you guys in the beta, of course, you're gonna like always get the newest and coolest stuff as I'm finding it, and of course some custom built solutions as well to help us really get the most out of our time and mass produce content. But there's of course other tools out there, just like Descript, for example. You literally, you press two buttons, like, it deletes all of, like, it's a visual editor, so you can like literally select what you don't want to have in the edits, right? So it's literally a text-based editor. It's insane. It's literally fun to edit, and the best part is literally 2 clicks of a button, and you removed all pauses, you removed all filler words, and it automatically, like, literally, like, I used to take an hour or so to cut together my course trainings. Like, just the other day for the beta group, we launched the first training here, that was like, I think 90 minutes long or something, and that would have usually took me, I don't know how long to edit, but with Descript here, it took me 10 minutes, like 3 clicks, all the and I say like and rate, I say that a lot, and literally 5 clicks and it was all gone. And yeah, that's just another way that you can systemize your service delivery, because that's going to be your biggest and next bottleneck here. So that's the main thing we're asking us at this point here, before we complete up your offer and messaging and start going out to the market and selling these guys here, which is what we're talking about next. But that is, again, do you have the potential for message to market fit? That's this workflow here, right? So let me know, guys. Was this valuable? If give me some yes in the chat or some fire emojis. And also if you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm gonna hydrate real quick here, and I gotta find chat, the streaming thing. Got it. Fire. Perfect. Awesome. What time do we have, by the way? Okay, still got like in half an hour. I'm all gonna blast through the rest here. 20 minutes. So that was that section here. Message to market fits. Actually, I'm gonna get that a little bit out here so we don't get confused. Cool. So yeah, that's where all the notes here are in the way here. That's where basically just take this. Ah, no. Well, yes, let's zoom out here, and I'm just gonna move these out of the way here real quick. So that's where, of course, again, if you don't have a message to market fit here, then again, you want to create a different minimum viable offer, right? And what do I mean with minimum viable? It's again, like literally just include the things that your clients actually need. I don't know why that arrow is even there. So again, based off the problems, that's how you come up with different features, right? And if it's not even a problem, you don't even need to fucking do it, right? Like, literally most cases, you don't even need to post the content to people's pages, and literally just running ads is enough. Because nobody is seeing the organic posts anyways. As you guys know, Facebook is pretty much pay to play. Instagram also these days. So you don't even necessarily need to post the content on their actual feeds and profiles. Literally just setting up some retargeting ads and running some actual targeted campaigns is like what most people only need, right? So yeah, don't include shit that you don't need to do. We want to start with a minimum viable offer that is literally just focus on those little hurdles that where, again, if they're here, they wanna get there. What are these single steps that they need to jump over, right? Not all of these additional things that would be nice to have, right? Again, what are these different steps? So cool. At this point, then, awesome. We got message to market fit. So now we want to create a no-brainer offer in hypothesis. No-brainer offer. I fucked that up here. No-brainer offer and messaging hypothesis. So now we have an offer, right? We know what we're roughly selling. We want to now turn that into a no-brainer. So that's where you can... Again, this is because we're starting up here with no existing clients, right? If we would have started down here with an existing client, then... you might already have a case study presentation, screenshots, videos, testimonials of those existing clients, right? Maybe you have that screenshot of the dentist campaign where you got them 6 new Invisalign patients, and then maybe a video or testimonial from the dentist itself, right? So in that case, if you already have that, and again, you're already in this market or niche, then we just ask yourself, is it a good case study or proof? And if yes, then again, we can just go to the next step and we go straight to the outreach, right? But if you don't have any case studies to show yet, or any form of proof or portfolio items that you can show relevant to this niche, or if you already have something in this niche but it could be better or more relevant here, then it's always a good idea to create a no-brainer offer first, right? And this is basically to get your foot into the door, right? So you can look at it as the as like a value ladder almost, where of course we covered this in multiple past trainings as well. I do have a YouTube video on just the value ladder concept as well. But of course the high goal is to sign people on some form of a monthly retainer. But the problem is, of course, not everybody's gonna go sign up from the get-go, right? From the first contact, again, especially if they don't know, like, and trust you yet. So that's where maybe for the monthly retainer we charge 2.5 to 5k per month, right? And that's gonna be the final thing that we want to sell people, of course, right? That's providing the most value, right? That's the y-axis, but also the price is going up here, right? So that's where this year might be the full package here, but then down here we might just offer a again, no-brainer offer, no-brainer, or foot in the door offer. So this is where we might even lose money, or it might be very, very cheap, right? So we might lose money, or again, break even to, yeah, like whatever that may be. I'll show you in a second what these Again, the price point, that's down to you, of course. You want to make sure it's a no-brainer. If you're speaking to Fortune 500 companies, a no-brainer offer could be $1,500 offer already, right? If you're speaking to a local restaurant, probably that's not so much of a no-brainer. The way to make that a no-brainer or your foot in the door offer, let's just put that here in a way that actually makes sense, is to basically guarantee them results, guarantee them that they're going to be happy in an X time frame, or they're going to get something back potentially. So this is how you could frame it. So I will do X in Y time, and if not, then Z, right? So let's go through some examples here. So I will do so maybe again, you guys know what it might look like when it comes to different variations and content and ads, right? So literally you don't need to like rethink the wheel here or like create some crazy stuff here, right? Literally just taking some screenshots, and if somebody doesn't already have this type of stuff, that could be some huge value add. So that's where you could say like I will create 5 video ads, add variations in 5 days, and if they don't, this is where you can get creative then, right? If you don't like them, you're gonna get the money back, you're gonna get 50% back, or if in this case I would say if they don't outperform your current ads, you get back your full investment potentially, right? So that might be one idea, right? But you can be creative here. Like I will maybe let's just map this out here. Create 3 storyboards, right? Boards. Maybe create campaign strategy, right? So maybe full strategy for what they could do. Create 5 copy and creative variations, right? This is if you're speaking to marketing managers, right? So copy is the text that they have in the ads, and creative is the actual ad itself, right? So the copy would be this one here, the text. Casper is really going chill on the copy here, it looks. They don't really have too much copy, but then again, they already have a very, very strong brand, right? So they don't need to do much copywriting. But this is where we literally, like, we have some AI tools, processes, workflows. Again, we talked about that in past trainings. And then of course, if you haven't joined the beta, you should. That's where of course we again map this out in complete detail, and again help you really even do that on a done for you level, where you don't even need to do anything. Literally just do the research, you feed that to our systems, and my assistant is then gonna take some of the your research and use some of the AI tools and workflows we have to literally spit out this copy here. But yeah, that might be something to get your foot in the door, right? So yeah, that might be some ideas. You create some storyboards, campaign strategy, copy and creative variations, maybe a design concepts if you do the design work or web design, right? So web design concepts, maybe if you've done SEO before, or you know how to set up these Google My Business pages and you work with local businesses, right? I just showed you for the restaurant. Literally, like, all I had to do is just take the photos I took anyways and just upload them there, and like somewhat optimize their profile, which really, like, once you know how to do it, like, this stuff takes like an hour to do. And now they're getting like crazy results and traffic through Google Maps here, right? So yeah, that might be a no-brainer offer as well, right? I'll set this up for free, right? And just to get your foot in the door, right? So I'll set this up for free, and only asking that you'll consider that once we start seeing some results, we might work together here in the future, which is going hand in hand with the next strategy, the case study discounts. You can kind of combine these together, where you tell people that let's just copy that over. Usually we charge X for this, but because, zoom in a little bit, because we're only getting started, getting started, or because, So you could switch these out, but because we're only getting started, we really believe this will work out over the long term. Anything along those lines, right? Don't copy me word for word here, guys, right? Like I want to show you the frameworks, right? If you're in the beta, of course, we'll map out your messaging for your niche specifically, but this is the high level idea, right? So the no-brainer offer is doing X and Y time, and then the case study discount is like, hey, oh Jesus, usually we charge X, but because Y, we do it for Z. I should have put it like that. Usually we charge X, but because Y, we'd be willing to do it for Z instead. All I'm asking is that X, Y, Z, I don't know, XX. Right, and this could be 3 referrals, testimonials, right? So usually we charge 5,000 for full content package here, but because we think this would really work out for you and you're not running ads yet, whatever that is, you want to make sure that is specific to them again, right? And in that case, hey, we usually do it for 5,000, but because of this reason that's specific to you, we'd be willing to do it for Z instead, right? So for $1,500. All I'm asking is that you consider to work together in the future, or all I'm asking is that you give us a video testimonial and 3 referrals if you're happy, right? This is where you want to future pace results, continue to work together, testimonial, right? So that is the 2 main strategies and how you want to package this up, and you can mix and match these together. And we're, of course, in the beta, we have a full module just about this year, of course, that's coming. But yeah, that's the high level idea. You want to have some form of no-brainer offer at the beginning where maybe you're breaking even. Maybe this case study discount might be for, again, whatever it is that you want to do, right? Maybe just helping them map out their content strategy could be something that you can package up here. So that's something that we talked about in the past trainings. How do you, again, map out the strategy with the different types of content, put together a little plan, and then you could charge 1.5K just for that. And yeah, that might be 1.5K, one off. And then from there, you maybe get them into a content package, right? Content package. And then finally, right? So this content package here might be 5K, one off. And then finally, you then upsell them, or again, you always try and sell them on what they actually need, which is in most cases the retainer, right? But you can then use these as downsell strategies where, hey, we can always start small, maybe just do a basic package yet. And hey, because this is you, and usually we charge X for this, 5K for this, but we really think this would work for you out, and we're only getting started in the active wear market here yet. Or hey, this is the first music ad that I'm creating here. I'd be willing to do it for Y instead. And then you can maybe even turn that into no-brainer where you tell them like, hey, and if this doesn't get you any results, you're going to get your money back. So that's where you can like stack these on top of each other, and you will 100% get a way in, especially the more custom you make this for your niche and their problems. Yeah, so that was a lot, guys. Let me know any specific questions you have about that, or give me another fire emoji, clear in the chat, and we'll talk about the next and final steps here. That is your no-brainer offer and message. And of course, you guys in the beta, you don't need to worry about like how exactly am I gonna, like what exactly would my messaging be here. We're gonna do that in the group calls, of course, together. And I'll help you map this out in detail. And anybody watching that's not in the group yet, make sure to book your call with me, or at least check out the masterclass where we go into some more detail on this here. Cool. That was great. Thank you. Awesome. Sounds good. Can't wait to get into this more. Awesome. Awesome. Perfect. So yeah, that's how we're going to make sure all of you guys are going to get those, not just the meetings, but we want to get those sales as well, right? So yeah, at this point we have then committed or decided on your no-brainer offer and message hypothesis. That's the keyword here again, guys, right? We're come up with a hypothesis that we then go out to the market and we actually test. We don't know if this will work out. We don't know if people are going to buy and throw their credit cards at us yet, right? So that's where we're going out. We're sending out some messages, we're testing things out, and we're getting that feedback, right? And then we look at the feedback, which is like how many responses are we getting, how many meetings, all that good stuff. So that then, of course, leads us to the next steps here. Yeah, we're pretty much through everything else, right? So you don't have a client yet, so we brainstormed some niche ideas and researched them. We committed on one niche here and identified the most painful problems they have and that transformation that they needs to happen there. We made sure it's a level 2 or 3 niche. We mapped out the pain points they have, so we can again figure out the offer and messaging, right? Based off the problems, we figure out the offer and the messaging. We made sure that you have potential message to market fit, and we mapped out a hypothesis or different hypotheses of different no-brainer offers we can test out and split test maybe even against each other here. So at this point, the only thing that's left is right here, your outreach and sales system, and that's easy as cake. We start outbound outreach and network to the niche, right? And now that we know exactly who that target persona is, right? We know exactly who's that persona, what problems they have. We have a message that's going to strike that nerve in this market. So all that is missing is just figuring out where do we find these people, or how do we get that message in front of these people in the best, almost predictable way. And that's where, of course, we covered that in past trainings. Let me just briefly show you the kind of map we mapped out here. And of course, you guys in the beta, you don't even need to worry about that. That's where in the worksheet, of course, literally we just look at the client attraction blueprints, right? And that's going to show you all the different lead pools that we have when it comes to finding clients, right? So, and then there's going to be, of course, tutorials to all of these here, right? Facebook ad library, how do you actually find leads on the ad library and all that good stuff. And again, anybody watching right now, you only get access to this if you join the beta. And then if you don't join the beta, this is going to go down for the next couple months, and we're going to launch this up as a course. But again, we covered also in past free trainings, of course, just some high level different, where the hell are we at here? Different strategies you can use to get your message in front of people here, right? You can just take a quick screenshot of this here, right? On the left side, we have the inbound things where we are going after, where people are coming to us, where we don't have any control over it. And then on the right side, we have outbounds, where I want you guys to usually focus on first, where you are going out to the people, you have it under control, how many people are you reaching out to, and it's just a matter of figuring out now which of these systems is going to give us the best chance of getting our message in front of people, which is usually some form of email, cold messaging through LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever platform these people will hang out the most on, right? Maybe even Instagram, maybe TikTok. I don't know if you can send DMs on there. I don't have the app. You better don't have the app either. So yeah, or maybe even video outreach, which is just another way you can set up, use Loom to record some video, customized video that you send to somebody. And that's where you literally in the video you could tell them like, hey, we're like, tell them your messaging basically. But yeah, this is where we now choose where are we going to find these people depending on where the most of them hang out, right? So if you're working with like local niches, probably going to go more through like things like Google Maps, maybe LinkedIn searches, right? Whereas like on Google Maps, you're probably not going to find software as a service and e-commerce companies, right? So again, depending on which ones you want to choose here, you basically commit onto that. Oh Jesus Christ. And then for you guys in the beta, we of course walk through each of these systems, but that's just a question of where can we find these people, right? If it's e-commerce brands, like literally like Amazon, like activewear, right? Amazon.us, I can .use, wow. Did you guys know, by the way, relentless.com, go to relentless.com, you're going to be redirected to Amazon. That's some good branding move right there. Not really. But yeah, that's where literally on Amazon might be a lead source, right? So activewear, right? And there's all these sub keywords that I can type in, and that might be potential lead source, right? So that's where I can find these people, right? So then, and let's just stick with this example. Look at the name here. One IU store, right? And then I want to find out, hey, do they have a website? I think you can click on, usually they have some redirect on their website somewhere, or you just search up the brand on Google. And then you find there, of course, the contact information. Never really prospected through Amazon here, so I'm just checking out right now. Looks like they don't have it. So U website, right? So I want to find their website. Sports bra reviews. They even have one.u.us. I guess that's it. And then of course use some tools to scrape their emails, right? Find out who's the marketing manager here. It looks like you can find one here. Oh, support at. Maybe look them up on LinkedIn. And again, I'm not going to go into detail on that in this training here. When it comes to like how the hell do I get that message in front of people, like again, we've covered that in detail in past trainings. Of course, you guys in the beta, you don't need to worry about that anyways. We're gonna, depending on your niche, choose the best kind of systems and outreach methods I see there. But again, just check out the past trainings. If you have not already signed up, sign up at pushrec.com/beta, and you can get all the past replays and pretty much a full training portal access here with all the past trainings, resources, and goodness. But yeah, that's, again, you choose what platform do you think these people are gonna hang out the most on, and then we start your outbound outreach, basically. So at that point, ask yourself, hey, is the message working? Are we getting clients, right? So that's where, again, with everything we're doing, we it's always the feedback loop, right? We're going out there testing our hypothesis, and now we'll want to look at the feedback as well. So that's where we then look at it, ask ourselves, let me just put that in a way where everybody sees everything, and let's just stop all the ADHD movement. Sorry, I'm going crazy sometimes here. But that's where now, again, we start reaching out to those people and doing some online networking, right? Connecting with people, opening up the conversation, and starting to reach out to people to try and get them onto a phone call, right? And that's, of course, the whole art and science that goes into that. But again, the most important thing is having all these foundations in place. Then it's just a matter, okay, if you have a message and a no-brainer offer like this that's targeted to a specific person, it's only a matter of like literally figuring out, okay, where am I going to send this message to these people now, right? What's going to be the highest chances of getting a response, or where these people hang out? I think that should be a good zoom in level. So yeah, we ask ourselves, hey, are we getting those calls or not, right? And that's where literally I think we do have it somewhere here as well. We're just gonna look at yeah, I don't have it here. The exact, again, how many opens are you getting for each message that you're sending? How many responses are you getting? And the end goal, of course, how many meetings or phone calls are you getting? And if after 50 to 100 messages you didn't get any messages, any responses, or any feedback here, any book calls, then you want to, of course, reiterate your message based on that feedback, right? So again, people might say, and this is where, of course, you want to always be split testing things, right? So maybe you have two different types of offers or two different types of messaging that you're testing, and then you are going to have some form of feedback, right? This is literally looking at the numbers like, hey, which one message did get us more responses, which message did get opened more, and just optimizing those numbers. For each of those steps, of course, there's different things that you can do, right? If you did not get the opens that you would hope for, change up your subject line. If you didn't get the responses you'd hope for, change up the main content of your email, right? If you are getting responses but not getting phone calls, change up the call to action or the offer, right? If you're, again, maybe the response rate is too low, are you doing 4 to 5 follow-ups, right? Don't just send one message and think you're going to get a meeting or a sale from that, right? Send them some bump emails. And again, we talked about all of this in past trainings. That's why I don't want to be a broken record, mention the same shit in every single training. But again, it's going to be a matter of going out there and again, working those trust humps where we have it here, where again, it's not going to be just that first contact, but it might be a second contact. Maybe you comment on their Instagram or their LinkedIn posts. Maybe third contact, which might be an SMS to their phone number. God knows what, right? It might take like your first initial message, like, hey, Mr. Dentist, we recently helped well, in this case, you don't already have a case study, so you want to lead with a no-brainer offer, right? So hey, we'd love to help you get more Invisalign patients. Hey, we'd love to help you create a video campaign to generate new Invisalign patients, and if it didn't work out, you don't owe us anything. Something along those lines, right? But again, that's gonna be like, oh, who the fuck is this, right? Like, you're not gonna get clients after us meetings necessarily after the first contact, right? That's where a quick bump email, just like, hey name, just wanted to make sure this didn't get lost in your inbox, or hey name, I'm sure you've been slammed with work, just following up real quick, right? Just that alone could be a bumping email, right? Or literally just thoughts ? That could be an entire email to bump up the email to the top again. And again, are you doing that over the series of, like, again, 4, 5, 6 touch points? And then if yes, awesome. Then if you're still not getting those responses, of course, that's where you need to now reiterate again, change out your message, and tweak things based on that feedback, right? If you are not looking at that feedback, you're skipping this phase here, or the questions phase, and again, the definition of insanity is doing the same shit over and over again, pretty much, right? So again, change things up, test things out, but also, most importantly, that's the number one problem I see at this point, is people aren't even tracking their shit. They're like, I'm doing all of this outreach, all of this. I'm asking, like, hey, what's your connection acceptance rate on LinkedIn? For every 100 people you send a connection request, how many actually respond? And how many actually accept that request? And out of the people that accept, how many people actually respond to your messages? And out of the people that actually respond to your messages, how many people actually book on phone calls? And out of the people that book on phone calls, what percentages actually turn into sales? So, like, this is some very basic stuff, and of course, you guys in the beta have all the tracking sheets and tools that you need to make sure this is getting tracked, and we are analyzing that feedback, and I'm forcing you to look at it together, of course. And again, anybody watching that hasn't signed up yet, make sure to do so. That's what we're doing there, and where I love doing the group calls as well, or the one-on-one coaching calls, where literally we just ask these questions, look at the feedback, and then there's no way you can fail with this. No absolute way to fail, unless you are, again, not going out there taking action, or not asking or not measuring that feedback. So yeah, we send messages, we track our stuff, and we look at what's working and what's not working. And then if there's still no meetings after the next 50 to 100 messages, then you just want to choose a different niche or a different outbound channel, right? So maybe the niche in general is not working, or maybe the outbound channel is not working, right? Because we already tested out a different no-brainer offer here, so that might not be it, right? That's actually another one you could test out. So that test out, choose different niche, no-brainer, or outbound channel, right? So this is where it goes here for the new outbound channel, right? So new outbound channel. What do I mean with this? Like, new place where we're sending messages, right? So if right now you've been sending messages through LinkedIn, maybe you want to try out Facebook, right? So I don't know if Jeremy's still on here. He's gonna go after some authors, and there's a bunch of groups out there for, like, non-fiction authors, and just connecting with them on Facebook. That might be a huge thing, right? Because, like, we all know what a LinkedIn inbox looks like. Facebook is a little bit less crowded these days. So yeah, we might just choose a different channel and just reach out on a different channel, right? And with channel, I mean, like, platform, or, like, again, where are we sending this message to the people? Again, if you haven't tried out email yet, maybe try that out. So yeah, then again, keep going through that cycle again, and again, eventually you're gonna crack the code. It's just a matter of time and reiteration, right? Eventually you're gonna crack the code with the right hypothesis. The feedback's gonna be what we want, and then at that point, we're not going to stop. We're going to take the winning idea, and we're still going to improve it further, of course, because perfection doesn't exist. You can always get better. But yeah, that's where we then, again, hopefully have cracked that code here finally, and we are getting those meetings booked on your calendar. And yeah, once you have your meetings booked on the calendar, of course, only thing that's left in between you and your next client is the sales process working, or are we getting sales, right? So at this point, again, we have mapped out the target and the problem they have. We have a message and outreach system to get those leads in front of the door, or get that awareness to spark their attention, to let them see that we exist, and turn that attention from not caring to at least listening to you. And then we have, at this point, the only thing that's left is, of course, making sure that you have a system to convert that attention from cold hard strangers into paying clients, and have a way to, again, position your offer in a way that makes sense, where they actually commit, and committing is only with their credit card. Everything else is not close, right? So that's where we now ask ourselves, hey, is the sales process working or not? And if you haven't gotten any sales calls after 5 to 10 calls, right, do a minimum, actually, like, do 10 plus calls here. I don't know what I'm doing here. Like, let's do 15 to 20, actually. Because you want to, like, again, if 5 people tell you no, that doesn't mean shit. Like, I've had periods where I had like nine bomb sales calls, and then the next 3 calls, all of them closed and made 20k that month, right? And then the week before that, I'm thinking like, geez, how am I gonna pay the bills, right? So like, you don't want to, again, you want to, this is called the regression to the mean, and just like in a casino, like that's how they make all their money, right? So regression to the mean. Maybe we have some cool graphic for that. Okay, I don't want to bore you guys and get into that, but yeah, you guys know a roulette table and all the stuff in the casino. Like, over the long term, the casino are the only people winning, right? So that's where, again, you can't judge any performance after like 10-20 messages or after like 5 to 10 sales calls, right? Especially if these are your first outbound sales calls or sales calls to people who aren't coming inbound to you, right? Not networking, word of mouth referrals, not those order taking clients, right? But actual people who you gotta like do some work to get them from cold hard stranger to paying customer. Then of course, again, no, don't just think that after the first 5-10 calls, if you didn't make it there, that's your fault. Again, it could be that again, we want to make for the average to show up, right? And there's no average if you've only been doing 5 to 10 calls. So yeah, if that's been the case, then though, after 15 to 20 calls, then you want to reiterate your sales process script or your offer based on the market feedback, right? You're recording those calls, hopefully. Literally just listen to those calls. What did you say on those calls where people were a bit closer to buying, right? Especially once you did get that sales call, like what did you say on that call? What was different? What are you saying on these calls where, again, look at people in the eyes as you're speaking? Where are they kind of looking away and stop caring? Where are they looking at? Where are they asking about things again? What things spark their attention? Like when you mention things like, oh, Facebook ads, retargeting, Google My Business, like nobody fucking cares, right? That's where in your sales presentation, like again, we have done a full sales training here in the past and in the bootcamp. So again, if you have not signed up here, this is how you can get access for free. Sorry for sounding like a broken record here, but it's literally a 3-hour sales training that we did some here, turn complete strangers into paying clients. And then of course you guys in the beta that joined the full beta group here, of course, again, we have some more insane stuff there where you don't need to worry about that. We're gonna make sure you have a process and script in place to make sure, again, we do collect that feedback either way. And that's the beauty of this, guys. Like big mindset shift, guys. Like there's no way to fail at sales at all. Like any bomb sales call is literally just feedback. It's gonna show you, and you're gonna start improving. It's gonna show you what worked, what didn't work. And again, you're not gonna get your first like your first 10, 20, 30 sales calls even are gonna feel like shit. You're gonna feel like, oh, I've done this wrong, I've done that wrong. But again, as you start to repeat that, get those reps in, you're gonna become more confident with every single phone call that you take, first of all. And then second of all, again, every sales call that you quote unquote fail, again, there's no failure, remove that word. It's all just feedback, right? So again, if you are recording those calls, it's an absolute gold mine. Like I get some of my boat, like again, the best messaging and research, all of this stuff we've been doing up until this point here, figuring out their problems and all of this, like literally that's a sales call. You are asking them these questions, you are getting so much golden information. So even if you like the client didn't buy, like you've just finished an amazing market research call that can help you create better messaging, that can help you improve your hypothesis as to how you can help these guys out, right? Maybe you found out about a certain like networking platform for real estate people that you didn't even know, and like this guy is getting crazy amounts of sales through that, and then you work with real estate people, so you can now refer that to or recommend that solution to other people, right? So like every conversation you do, especially if you follow this process in the way that I laid it out here, is going to compound onto itself and build onto itself. And there is again no way to fail when doing a sales call, because again, you're either getting a client or you're getting like banger freaking market research, because there's no better research. Like again, I showed you high level how you can like you do some thinking, use some tools and Google searches, and if you're in the beta, of course, again through those group calls, I'm going to be able to share some really good stuff with you as well, because I've been doing this for a while. But again, there's all these little niche things where you're only going to start to pick up on those as you start to work with this market. And again, that's going to come out, all of that in these sales calls, right? So I don't even like to call it sales calls, right? So it's the kind of the discovery, like the call where you find out what the client wants, right? Where are these guys at right now? Where do they want to go? What are all these little hurdles that they're jumping over, that they already see or that they don't see? And again, you're finding all of that out in like immense detail, and you can even get to record those calls. It's amazing. So again, long story short, again, you can literally just improve based on that feedback. That's going to be easy as cake. There's again no way to fail with this process. And if you still get any sales calls, any sales after 25 to 50 calls, okay, there's something we might want to look at here where you might change out your niche or your offer positioning, especially. Right? Because if so far you've been offering like, hey, we do video marketing for dating coaches, right? That's like not really the best positioning, right? So again, positioning is like partly the messaging, right? Positioning / messaging, like how you present or sell the offer, right? It could literally be the exact same service, but if you sell it in a different way that now resonates more with them, now you're gonna get the sale, right? If you these days focus on selling Facebook ads for this and that business, or video marketing for this and that business, or video production for this and that business, like nobody's gonna fucking care. You're not gonna stand out whatsoever. But again, it could be the exact same thing. You still do video production for dating coaches, but again, because we now have some unique positioning around it and mechanism where maybe again you help them honestly and truly help them stop relying on the algorithm and diversify their revenue channels. Again, same offer. We're still producing videos for a dating coach. We're still running some retargeting ads, but it's just positioned in a different way, if you get what I mean. So yeah, that's another big like ninja move right there. And if that doesn't work, of course, then you can just choose a whole different niche. And that's where all these little shaded arrows point in here, right? So whether if your messaging fucked up and you tried everything and it still didn't work, again, you can choose a different outbound channel, reach out with a different method, right? Maybe you add on email, or you try out LinkedIn if you haven't done that yet, and maybe it works then. If it still doesn't work, again, we choose a different niche. Same deal with your sales process. If it still doesn't work after 50 calls, then again, we're going to choose a different sub niche if you already changed up the offer, of course, right? It's easier to change out the messaging, right? That's just changing out some sentences. Takes you 30 seconds. So that's the first thing that we reiterate and improve, right? It's always the feedback loop, right? So that's the first, and you can't change out everything, right? If you switch niches and messages and offer all at the same time, you don't know what the fuck works, right? So we keep one thing constant, like the niche and the outreach method. And then the only thing we might change is the messaging, right? So again, we come up with different hypotheses for the messaging. We test them out. We gather the feedback and we improve. And again, if all of that fails while going through these feedback loops, where first we test the messaging, because that takes like 20 minutes to come up with a new message. Then if that doesn't work, maybe the no-brainer offer. If that doesn't work, then maybe the offer positioning. And if that doesn't work, then maybe we switch out the entire niche, right? But that's kind of the order, right? Because it takes like, again, 10 minutes to switch out the message. Then again, like probably like 30 minutes to, again, like what does least amount of effort, you test that out first, like again, switching out the message. And of course, you're not going to change your entire business model and niche just because like after 20 messages you didn't get a response, or just because after 20 sales calls you didn't get a sale. Of course, first you switch out the message, how you position the offer, and only last option result will be going back all the way up here and switching a different niche, right? Or a different offer. So that's why these arrows go back up here, but you can just follow those along. And then at that point, finally, we crack the code, right? This is, again, the blueprint. At this point, you have a new client in the niche that you want to work in, right? So we have a message that works, sales process that works. We have a new client in this niche. Oh, Jesus. And that's where you see the arrow goes back here. That's where we can, again, now use that to create a new case study, presentation, screenshots, video, testimonials. And again, ask yourself again, hey, is this a good case study or social proof that we can use? And if yes, I'm going to start a new campaign, leveraging the new case study that you just got and get it even better, right? So maybe the first case study was you just creating a content package for a dentist, right? You didn't help him get the Invisalign patient yet, but now you got your foot in the door with the dentist, right? You can package up that little video you already produced for another dentist, so that might already be enough to get your foot in the door with another dentist and easily make that happen. And if that's not the case, then you package it up as a no-brainer offer if you could make it better or more relevant. And that's how you can keep going through the cycle here and viciously improve, keep getting better clients, better case studies, and keep going through the cycle. So yeah, that was a shit ton, guys. Let me know. Give me some. Write gold in the chat, or give me some questions that might be you might have right now. But if all is clear, give me gold in the chat if that was valuable to you guys. And I hope I didn't just mindlessly blabber on and draw some crazy diagrams here. I hope this is clear to you guys. And of course, you get to download this without all the mess here. I'm gonna clean this up, and we're gonna have one without all the added notes, and then I'm gonna have one variation here with the notes craziness. So golden, perfect. Looks like it's valuable. I'm not just confusing you guys here, but again, high level. Let's do one quick run here. So again, we don't have a niche yet, don't have a client. We start here. If you do have a niche, or you do have a client already, and you it's the same niche that you want to keep working in, you start here. So again, if you don't have that niche, you brainstorm different niche ideas, right? All these different ideas that you might come up with, that you then again maybe combine 1 and 2 into this one new niche here, right? Like me, again, I love marketing, I love video production, I love sharing my knowledge. So now I'm helping teaching other video producers marketing, right? That's how I found my niche here. But again, this works for you, for again any market. Don't go after all markets. Go down at least level 2 or level 3 niches, right? Let's make this a little bit smaller here. At least level 2 or level 3 niches, where again, instead of going after just e-commerce, you go after maybe fashion, or even activewear fashion, or maybe vegan fashion, right? Something very specific to make it easier for yourself to craft the message that people actually gonna care about. And again, if you've done that, if you've mapped out or you decided on your level 2 or 3 niche, then awesome, you keep going. If no, you want to make sure you choose a different niche altogether, or a different sub niche, right? If it's like e-commerce as a whole, there's all these different ones, like again, like survival, gardening, like all of these different things, gaming, like all of these industries that there are products for, right? So that's sub niche, or you choose a whole different niche altogether, and instead of e-commerce, maybe you go after like online education or coaching consulting, right? That's a different niche, or like local businesses, right? And then of course, again, the goal is to land on a level 2/level 3 niche. And the moment you make that happen, it's going to be easy as cake to go into the next step here, which is to create your offer and messaging hypothesis, which comes down from what are the problems that this niche has, right? Because every person has different problems, and nobody just wants to have a pretty video. It's all based off the problems people have. So you start with some Google searches to find those problems. Maybe your niche and marketing problems, your niche and marketing strategy, right? So music marketing strategy, music marketing problems, whatever your industry is. And then again, you list out all the different problems, and you come up with different features by, again, turning the problem on its head, or just doing market research, looking at the top players of the game, what are they doing, being creative as well, and figuring out what that transformation looks like from point A to point B. So that way you can then turn that on its head and turn that into your messaging, right? Because it's one thing to know the problems and to know what you're doing to help them solve these problems, right? That's your offer. But it's another thing to communicate that with them, the messaging, right? So how do we turn that into benefits, right? If you're a YouTuber and you're relying on the YouTube algorithm and organic traffic there, and you only get the AdSense money, then that's a big problem. Feature that we can use to solve that is start running some ads, or just retargeting ads even, right? Those ads that keep following you around the internet, somebody subscribes to the channel, and the next 30 days they keep seeing the merch ads, or they watch a specific video about a specific product or a specific merch drop, and then we run ads for that merch drop to people who watched that video. Very simple stuff, but again, nobody cares really about that. That's not the sexy message, so we turn that on its head, the problem, right? And we craft some messaging that's really going to resonate with them. What's in it for them? What's the benefit? What do I get out of it? So hey, we can help you stop relying on the algorithm and diversify your revenue streams through targeted video marketing. That sounds better, right? So at that point, we then ask ourselves like, hey, do we have a potential message to market fit here, right? Do we pass the checklist right here? And feel free to screenshot that if you, well, you're going to get the whole thing here anyways. That's going to be added to the training portal here, right? So again, if you're not in the bootcamp here yet, pushrec.com/beta, you can get access for free. And that's where we're going to add that to the corresponding training, as well as the bonus worksheets and template section. You're going to find this thingy here. But yeah, if you pass that check here, which means that again the person is defined, you can access this type of person, they have money to pay for this type of service, the problem is painful and urgent, and your solution is the best or only option that they can go after, and you can deliver it in an efficient way, then awesome, you can keep going. Then we have potential message to market fit. If no, you want to, again, create a different minimum viable offer. So what's a different thing that you can offer to either make it more powerful, painful, or to have a different sub-market that might have more money here, right? So instead of going after the musicians, maybe you go after the distribution companies, the Warner Brothers, or like the smaller ones, like maybe that's gonna go with the big ones first, right? But again, they have higher money. Again, you reposition your offer to a different niche, different solution, or again, go through this checklist to ensure that before we go out, we kind of bulletproof your hypothesis here. So at that point, you can then package it up, turn it into a no-brainer offer where nobody would ever, in their right mind, would ever say no to this here, especially if they're in this market and have this specific problem, right? Yeah, I'll help you get 2 new Invisalign patients through our video campaign, and if we don't, you don't need to pay us anything, right? Or all you need to pay are the ad costs, right? That could be a no-brainer for a dentist potentially, right? So again, you figure out a way to turn it into a no-brainer offer, or to come up with some form of case study discount where you tell them like, hey, usually we charge X for this, but because of this reason, because we're only getting started with this and really think this would be immensely valuable for you, I'd be willing to do it for Y instead. All I'm asking is that you give me a testimonial and 3 referrals if you're happy, or that you consider to continue working in the future once we start seeing results, right? Once we start seeing results, that's another word pattern you can use there to then upsell them onto your actual content packages, or finally the retainer model where you close them on like a 3 to 6 month deal there. So let me just switch batteries, then we're going to blast through the last steps here, and we're pretty much done for today. Good. So at that point, you should have a no-brainer offer, at least in the hypothesis of what are you positioning, what are you trying to sell to them, how are you communicating that with them, and you should have formed that hypothesis. And at that point, all that's left is to start that outbound outreach sales machine and start hammering those leads, right? You build out like, hey, this is where we find these leads. This is how we're reaching out. This is the messaging we use. This is the different message variation that we test out. And that's your system. You start hammering that like crazy, going out to the market. And again, we have our hypothesis set up. So we now go out and test things. And then you just daily implement things. Start reaching out to people, look at the feedback, right? Are we getting those responses? Are we getting opens? Are we getting meetings booked here? Are we getting those sales? And the next step here, right? After you crack the code, you do get those meetings. If you don't get the meetings, again, you just look at your feedback. If you're not getting the responses you told for, change out the call to action. If you don't get the opens of your emails, change out the subject line. For everything that might be wrong here, there's ways to tweak and improve, right? Looking at the responses you're getting, especially once you have those sales calls coming in already, looking at that feedback that you have on those sales calls is going to be absolute gold, right? So every sales call you bomb is going to be a gold mine of new feedback that you can use to come up with a better message right here, and different ways to reach out to these people, and better ways to, again, craft an even better no-brainer offer. You could literally ask them like, hey, so what would be something that would be an absolute no-brainer to you, literally, right? And then just use that as feedback, come up with a new no-brainer offer here. But yeah, again, if that still doesn't work, then again, you choose a different channel, reach out on a different platform, or you switch out the messaging, positioning, or offer. Yeah, and eventually you're gonna crack that code, gonna find the right hypothesis that got the right feedback, and then we crack the code here, and we can keep using that feedback. Then now that you got your first sale, look at, hey, what did you say different here that got this guy to close? Maybe it's a different kind of sub-segment, and after 2, 3, 4 sales, we're going to find even more patterns there that will help us improve the offer even more. Yeah, and that's how you can get your next client or first client in the next 7 days, if you go all in and yeah, have a little bit of luck, of course, as well, right? So yeah, that's the high level steps. You want to define your niche, define your offer and messaging, set up your outreach and sales system. And if you already have an existing client or case study in this niche, you can skip a lot of these steps. And again, you just package things up, build up a case study portfolio. And if it's good enough, you can go straight to outreach. And if it could be a little bit better, you package up a no-brainer offer. So yeah, That was a shit ton. So let me know, guys. Anybody that's still in here. Let's see. Dean, Jeremy, Julian. Oh yeah. Varun. Let me know, guys. And anybody on the chat, on YouTube, Facebook, you can just comment, of course. But that'll be it from me for today. Let me know. And Dean, Jeremy, Varun, you guys are all in the beta anyway, so we're gonna go deeper on this in the next calls anyways. Ugh. But yeah, that's quite a diagram. I'll clean this up, make sure everybody gets this. It will be added to the bootcamp section, to the trainings. I'm always like, this one's probably gonna be like marketing, right? I'm gonna put that here. But you guys already have you on Slack. I'll let you know. I just set an automation to do group updates. Thanks again. Yeah, of course, man. No worries. Okay. All right, Dean, Jeremy, Varun, any questions from you guys? If not, so we'll call it a day here and touch base on Slack and get our first group session in the next couple days here. I'm not sure if I... all good here. Thanks, Rob. That was great. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, I thought I fucked up the Zoom thing and didn't hear you guys, but you guys are muted. Alright. Cool. So yeah, with that, let me do a section where I can like cut to for the recording here. Actually, yeah, you guys gotta check out this script. It's insane. So what I do now is like I'll say stop, and that's gonna be in the transcript, and I'm gonna do Control F. And now I just done all the talking, but I can literally just select all the last 5 minutes of me just not knowing how to end the call, and just cut all of that away within like 2 seconds by just doing Control F, and it's awesome stuff. So yeah, with that then I would conclude this call. Again, if you have not signed up already, you can get the full bootcamp here. You can get access to all of that for free during this launch period here. That's where the this craziness is going to be added as well in a cleaned up version as well. Going to get rid of all these the craziness here and have one version that's clean, one with all the additional notes where you guys can zoom in all the way as well. And again, that's going to be added within the next 24 hours to the bootcamp here. I'm going to probably put that under marketing. Actually, I'm going to put that under fundamentals, because today was like such a like high level. Like if again somebody applies this here, you're pretty much halfway there already. Yeah, but that would conclude it for this training here. If you have not already, make sure to sign up for the beta launch. We extended the launch period where you can get access to the masterclass and join the group until Black Friday, Cyber Monday, because everybody's doing their Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals. We figured I just extend it, and we're already starting the group calls next week already. But you can still get access for, get in for the early price until the extended end of the period here. We still have, I think, 2 or 3 more spots available. So again, the masterclass itself is free, of course. Like you don't need to pay anything, and that's unlimited spots there as long as it's still live. And yeah, make sure to sign up for that. You're gonna get access to all the other trainings for free as well. And yeah, with that, I would say I'll conclude this training here. Anybody that's already in the beta and watching this, again, looking forward to seeing you guys on the first group calls in the next couple of days. I'll let you know on Slack when that happens. And then, of course, anybody else, hope you guys got some value from this training as well. Make sure to sign up already if you haven't already. You won't regret it. Now I remember the word here. And yeah, I'll see you on the other side in the bootcamp training section. Take care, guys. Okay, now I gotta find the fucking thing here. Right, good evening, good night. Jo, Julian, ich schreib dir bei Slack gleich. Haus rein.